Hello, and welcome to another power-packed Phillips podcast. Yeah, buddy. Thank you. You're so flattering. Today's podcast is going to be on lesson 6.7 again. This will be lesson 6.7, part 2, as we continue to talk about graphing linear inequalities. If you would, please draw a coordinate grid on a piece of graph paper. We are going to graph the inequality x plus 2y is less than or equal to 0. The first thing I notice is that this inequality is written in what we call standard form. Standard form. How do I know it's written in standard form? Because the variables are on both sides of the inequality, and x is positive. It is much easier to graph the inequality if it is written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the invisible coefficient of 1 in front of the variable x. Now I'm going to say that y is a tornado, or y has a cold. And we want to move the term 1x to the other side of the equation. We'll move that term to the other side of the equation by doing the inverse operation. Noticing that I cannot combine the constant and the variable because they are not like terms. So I'll rewrite the inequality, and I have 2y is less than or equal to negative 1x plus 0. Remember that y has a nasty cold, and 2 doesn't want to be anywhere near that nasty cold. So we do the inverse operation and divide every term by positive 2. When we do that, we get y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. That's the 0 property. Now, if you asked, do we flip the inequality sign? That would be a shot-worthy question. And the answer to that is no, we do not flip the inequality. The reason why we do not flip the inequality sign, you only flip the inequality when the bottom number that you're dividing by, is negative, or if you multiply by a negative number. Hopefully something like this doesn't happen to you when you're taking the EOC. Remember from our last epic podcast, the steps to graphing an inequality on a coordinate grid. Graph the inequality like it is an equation written in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Decide if your line will be solid or dashed. That's based on whether there is an equal sign underneath. Then lastly, decide where to shade. Shade above if it's greater than or greater than equal to. Shade below if it's less than or less than and equal to. Remember, our inequality was written in standard form, and we changed it into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So you could say that the new inequality is y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x, or you can say y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x, plus 0. We really don't have to write the plus 0 because that's going to be our y-intercept. So we'll pretend that the inequality is an equal sign, and our y-intercept is going to be 0. That's where we're going to start. So I'm going to start right here at the origin. Then I'm going to go back and find my slope. It's touching the variable x. Since my slope is negative 1/2, I'm going to fall one space, and for my denominator, I'm going to run 2 spaces to the right. Fall 1, negative, right 2. Fall 1, right 2. Fall 1, right 2. I'm going to go back and notice that this has an equal to sign underneath the inequality, so it's going to be a solid line. The last thing I have to do, make my determination. I'm going to shade below the linear line because it is less than or equal to. So I shade below. Follow those steps on the EOC and you will look as good as the 2014 NBA champion San Antonio Spurs.